Ah, yes. And what you're looking at here is called a Brazilian plume. It's also called a flamingo flower, just depends on where you are. The Brazilian plume is an evergreen perennial with large leaves that are dark green and glossy. The plant produces an upright stem with clusters of tubular flowers. The flowers of Brazilian plume are typically pink, mine are. However, white or red flower varieties also exist. The flowers resemble small plumes. Brazilian plume. Get it? Native to Brazil, the Brazilian plume thrives in warm, tropical climates, so Florida is an ideal location for these plants. Brazilian plumes like partial shade to full shade, so try to keep them away from direct sunlight. And since we do get some extremely warm weather here during the summers in Florida, you'll want to ensure your plant stays moist, as the heat can cause shaded areas to become arid and dry. For those of you in cooler climates, the Brazilian plume can be grown as a great container plant. They are sensitive to frost, so you can bring them indoors during the winter. In Florida, we don't get too many days with freezing temperatures, but during those 3 extremely cold days we do get during our winter season, you can bring the potted plumes indoors, or just cover your outdoor plumes with a plant cloth or sheet to protect them from cold winds. You want to plant these in rich, well-draining soil, as always. They do like their soil moist, but not what? Exactly, not waterlogged. I'm telling you, you are the apple of my eye. I'm probably going to keep telling you that anyway, friend. Adding organic matter or peat moss will help improve drainage and enrich the soil for your plume. You could try vermiculite and perlite to create even better soil conditions for your plume. You can use a balanced fertilizer for your plume, something like a 10-10-10. I personally have seen great results using one of the Miracle-Gro bloom boosters on mine, so I was pretty happy with that. These should only require fertilizer every 3 to 4 months. Now, if that schedule may slip away from you, because I know how busy you are, you can fertilize every 6 months, so twice a year, and your plume will still produce beautiful flowers. Deadheading encourages continuous blooms, but it will prevent the plant from setting seeds. So, if you just want flowers, be sure to remove spent flowers to encourage more blooms. If you want seeds, just let your plume go through its normal cycle. You can always plant the seeds in spring. You can propagate your plume from stem cuttings also. You'll need to leave about 2 leaves on the top of the cutting, and then you'll want to dip them into your preferred rooting hormone. After that, just stick them into some relatively moist soil and keep them in an area that stays warm and somewhat humid while they root. After a few weeks, your cuttings will start to grow roots, and then you can transplant them into individual pots. Brazilian plume flowers attract hummingbirds and butterflies, so this plant makes an excellent and exotic addition to your gardens. They make great focal points in shade gardens, and even better border plants in shaded areas. You'll get yourself a Brazilian plume and never tell your neighbors where you got it from. They'll envy you for your plume, but the flowers like envy. It makes them grow bigger. Well, thanks for stopping by. Tenha bom dia.